Hello, dearest listener. You're safe now. Safe and held. In this moment, let the world fall away behind you. Just for a little while, take a long, gentle breath in and a slow, whisper-soft breath out. Again, inhale calm and stillness. Exhale the weight of the day. Let your shoulders soften. Let your hands grow warm and heavy. Let your eyes flutter closed if they haven't already. There's nothing left to do. No one to be. Nowhere else to go. Only this moment and the hush between heartbeats. You are welcome here, drifting gently, like candle smoke curling into the night. And now, with your body relaxed and your mind beginning to drift, let us begin our story. Narrative voice. Gentle descent into the story. Our story tonight begins in a place hidden from time, nestled deep within the velvet hills of a forgotten country. Surrounded by mossy oaks and starlit silence, there lies a quiet cloister, carved from stone and solitude. It rests beneath a silvered sky, where the moon glides slowly, casting its pale light across tiled roofs and winding ivy. Within those cloister walls, through narrow corridors, wrapped in shadows and echoes, there is a sacred chamber, where parchment waits and time moves in ink-stained rhythm. It is just past midnight when our story takes place. Scene, setting, atmosphere, and sounds. Imagine the hush inside those stone walls. The air is cool and still. Every surface glows faintly with the golden shimmer of beeswax candles, soft flames dancing and swaying like drowsy spirits. A fire crackles faintly in a small hearth nearby, its embers sighing gently into the darkness. You hear the faint creak of wooden beams above and the rustle of mice in the hay below. Even the wind outside seems reverent, brushing gently against stained glass windows, as if not to disturb what rests within. And in the heart of this hush sits Brother Anselm, introducing the character. Soothing rhythm. He is an old monk, his robe the color of faded parchment, his hands calloused but careful, marked by 1,000 quiet nights like this. He sits at an oaken desk, worn smooth by decades of prayerful work, and before him, a single sheet of vellum lies open like a waiting soul. A pot of ink rests to his left, deep black, with a sheen of indigo, made from oak galls and iron salts, prepared lovingly by hand. To his right, a cluster of tiny glass vials glimmer like stars, each filled with powdered pigments. Lapis blue, saffron gold, vermilion red, colors once traded on the backs of camels, crossing oceans of sand and time. Brother Anselm dips his quill made from the feather of a goose into the ink and begins to write, each letter a soft whisper on the page. Historical detail. The ritual of illumination in the Middle Ages. Monks were among the few who preserved the wisdom of the world. Their lives were slow and sacred, spent not in noise or haste, but in the stillness between heartbeats, in the sacred space of quiet minds and faithful hands. The scriptorium was more than a workspace. It was a sanctuary, a chapel of ink and pigment. Every letter Brother Anselm wrote was a prayer, and every stroke of his quill a meditation. He paused between each line, not to rush, but to breathe, to feel the silence, to listen for the voice of God in the hush. And as he worked, his world became only ink and candlelight, and the scent of vellum beneath his hands. Immersive imagery, drawing the listener in. Can you feel it now? The faint, earthy scent of parchment, treated with lime and stretched until it sang. The gentle drag of quill on page, a scratch like the rustle of autumn leaves on stone. The warmth of the fire at your back, soft as a woolen blanket. The flicker of candlelight painting the walls with gold. And Brother Anselm's breath, slow and even, rising and falling like a lullaby. You are here, beside him, not intruding, but welcomed, as if your presence is part of the prayer. Philosophical lull, slow in the mind. He is not writing to be read, not writing for praise, but simply to be present, to serve time itself with gentleness. In the world outside, kings may rise and fall, battles may rage. But here, in this circle of soft light and whispering ink, there is only stillness, a stillness that wraps around you, that settles in your chest, and rocks you slowly, softly, to sleep. Calm transition, preparing for next sequence. And now, as Brother Anselm prepares his colors, the powdered lapis crushed with honey and egg white, made luminous with care, we will drift deeper still, past the ink, past the page, into the dream hidden beneath the gold. But for now, just breathe and let the hush settle around you like mist. Let go. We will continue the story soon, just beyond this breath. You're still here, gentle, still wrapped in the hush of candlelight, still beside Brother Anselm, as time itself seems to hum softly around you. Can you hear the faint swirl of the ink in its pot, the delicate clink of glass vials as he lifts one, then another, each sound a whisper, each movement a lullaby? Outside, the wind is slower now, as if even the night has paused to watch the monk work. With careful hands, Brother Anselm opens a small jar. Inside it, crushed lapis lazuli, a pigment more precious than gold, brought from the far mountains of Afghanistan, ground with marble and rinsed through linen sieves, until only the purest blue remained. He adds a drop of egg white, a touch of honey for smoothness, and stirs it slowly, until it shimmers like moonlight on water. This is the color of the Virgin's robe, the color of midnight skies in sacred paintings, the blue that carries centuries of prayer in its glow. Now, he reaches for the next vial vermilion, made from ground, bright as the first leaf of autumn, or the final light at dusk. Every color has its meaning, its story, its silence. The room smells faintly now of honey and dried rose petals crushed into dust. The candles flicker, their flames steady and low, casting sleepy shadows along the curved stone walls. The fire behind you crackles once a soft, woody puppend, then returns to its quiet rhythm. In the silence, you can hear the soft turning of a page and the gentle scrape of gold leaf being lifted from its book, so thin, so delicate, that a single breath could send it dancing into the air. But Brother Anselm is patient. He lays it down with reverence, pressing it gently onto the vellum with the warmth of his fingers, as though tucking in a sleeping thought. It is said that in the act of illuminating these pages, the monks believed they were preserving not just knowledge, but beauty, peace, truth. They believed that if they worked slowly enough, carefully enough, they could capture something divine between the lines. And so each letter, each gilded swirl, each sapphire drop of paint became more than decoration. It became prayer, stillness made visible, breath turned into light. Outside the cloister walls, a low owl calls into the night, its voice echoing across the chapel gardens and fading into the hills beyond. Brother Anselm lifts his head, listens, then smiles faintly, and dips his quill once more. The ink flows, slow and steady, like a stream moving through moonlight. Above, in the high beams of the scriptorium, a spider rests in its delicate web, spun between two carved rafters. A cathedral of silk in miniature. Even the spiders are still tonight. Even the shadows feel drowsy. The monks of this cloister keep their hours by the bells. Matins, lauds, vespers, compline, and in between, they write, they walk in gardens, they pray in candlelit chapels, they grind pigments and breathe in incense and lavender and wood. They speak little, and when they do, it is soft, measured, gentle. Their days are long, but not hurried. Their nights are dark, but never lonely, because in every silence there is presence. In every breath there is peace. Let yourself rest here a while longer. Can you feel the stillness? Can you sense the comfort in this quiet work? The glow of the fire warming your knees, The faint scratch of ink and quill, the deep silence between sounds, the kind that holds you, rocks you, soothes you. Let that silence wrap itself around you, like a cloak made of mist, cool on your skin, but heavy with calm. Let your breath become slow again, just like Brother Anselm's, in and out, soft and silent. No need to think, no need to remember, just drift. Tonight, the page Anselm works on is special. A single verse, meant for a prayer book gifted to a young novice just beginning his journey within these walls. The verse reads, "In stillness, we see clearly. In silence, we are known." He writes the first letter in gold, a large illuminated eye, wrapped in vines and curling leaves, painted with a brush no wider than a hair. Tiny birds sleep in the drawn branches, each feather stroked with care, each eye closed and inked. It will take him weeks to finish the page, but he does not mind. He has all the time he needs. And the night is long and soft and listening. Let your breath remain gentle. Let your thoughts soften like old parchment. You're still in the scriptorium, still bathed in the amber hush of firelight, still wrapped in the stillness of Brother Anselm's world. The night outside is darker now, a deep velvet sky, studded with tiny stars. They seem to blink slowly, slippily through the clouds. And within this cloistered space, the world continues, one breath at a time, one golden letter at a time. Brother Anselm sets aside his brush and lifts his quill once more. It's made from a long white goose feather, its tip carved with precision using a pin. He trims it now, holding a small blade against the point and shaving it gently, so the ink flows smoothly again. In the Middle Ages, this was called pluma, a Latin word, soft as a sigh. A well-cut quill could last through hours of steady writing, but always needed care. Just like the monk's spirit, Anselm dips it again. The ink, dark and glossy, made from iron salts, mixed with crushed oak galls, gathered in the nearby forest, where wasps had once laid their tiny eggs. Yes, even the ink came from a quiet place in nature, from tree and time and patient hands. The vellum itself hums with silence, not paper, no but calfskin, stretched thin and smooth. It carries its own quiet breath. It was common in the monastery's pages made, not from trees, but from life, each one a precious canvas. Brother Anselm turns the page. Slowly, so slowly, you can hear the faint creak of it shifting, the soft hush of age and craft. Some vellum pages still held the faint shadows of hair, like a whisper left behind. And upon this, he writes with care, each letter aligned to a hand-drawn line, every margin perfectly measured, a dance between order and art. No clocks tick in the scriptorium, no bells ring at this hour. Only the heartbeat of the work. Time here is not counted in minutes or hours, but in strokes of ink, in breaths between lines, in the way the candle burns lower, wax pooling like golden honey near the base. The shadow shifts slowly on the wall, dancing faintly with each flicker of light, like saints stepping in and out of dreams. And still, he writes letter after letter, each one soft and small and sacred. Come a little closer. Yes, just like that. Feel the stone floor beneath your feet, cool and smooth. Feel the warmth of the fire on your cheek. There's a cushion beside the desk, woven from wool, soft and low. You may sit, if you wish, or curl beside the hearth. Anselm will not mind. You are part of the quiet now, part of the hush. Can you hear the ink whispering? Can you smell the beeswax in the air? You're not just listening now. You're here. There's a kind of peace in things done slowly, in a world that often rushes forward, always seeking, always reaching. There is something sacred about staying still, about devoting a night to nothing more than a single page, a single sentence, a single breath. Brother Anselm understood this, that beauty is not always loud, that wisdom is not always urgent. Some things bloom only in silence, and as he writes, Anselm remembers the first time he stepped into this room. He had been a young novice then, barely more than a boy. The air had smelled the same mink and wax and lavender oil rubbed into the desks. The old master scribe had shown him how to cut a quill, how to test pigment on a scrap of parchment, how to let the breath lead the hand. "Do not rush," he had whispered, "even if your thoughts are fast. Let your hands be slow." That was 50 winters ago, and tonight, that same whisper lives in the room. A lesson, passed on through ink and quiet repetition. The letter I on the page is finished now. It curls with vines and tiny, hidden animals. A squirrel tucked beneath a berry, a snail inching along a golden curve. Brother Anselm adds a touch of white to their eyes. A dot so small it must be painted with the tip of a needle. Illumination, they called it not. Just for the gold that shimmered, but for the light it brought to the soul. Monks believed these pages glowed in more than candlelight. They believed the spirit dwelled there. In the shimmer, in the detail, in the care. The room is quieter now. If such a thing is even possible, even your breath has slowed. Even your mind has softened. Brother Anselm sets down his quill for a moment, rests his hands in his lap. The candle wavers. The owl has gone quiet. Perhaps even the night has fallen asleep. But there is more yet to come. Another page. Another memory. Another moment in the cloister's long breath. We'll drift there soon. Just rest. Float with me in the stillness. A while longer, the candle flickers once more, and then grows steady again, as if the flame itself is breathing with you now. In and out, soft and slow. You are still here, wrapped in this hush. A hush older than time, older than ink, older than sleep itself. Outside, a mist has begun to gather in the cloister gardens, silver and slow, clinging gently to the ivy, smoothing every edge of the world. Even the stars have dimmed, as if they too are drowsing. Brother Anselm picks up his finest brush, a thin sliver of sable hair, no thicker than a whisper. Now that the letter has been formed, he will begin the illustration that curls beneath it, a sacred scene to accompany the words. Tonight, he paints a garden, but not any garden, a symbolic one. The hortus conclusus, a quiet place, walled and still, where lilies bloom and doves perch in olive trees. In medieval thought, such gardens represented peace of spirit, a soul enclosed and protected from the world's noise. Perfect for a prayer book, perfect for the stillness of night. He begins with the path, a winding trail of gold thread, curving through beds of flowering herbs. He dips his brush into green, a green made from malachite, ground by hand, mixed with gum, Arabic from the acacia tree. Each stroke is tiny, deliberate, leaves unfolding like slow breaths, tendrils twining like dreams. A tiny fountain appears in the middle, its water painted in gentle curves of silk, a droplet caught in motion forever. He adds a bench, a sleeping cat curled beside it, its paws tucked beneath its chin, its tail wrapped like a ribbon around its body, soft, safe, untouched by time. In monasteries, gardens were not only real, they were sacred spaces for the soul, places of order, of quiet growth, of listening to things that do not speak. The monks tended herbs. By moonlight, lavender, mint, sage, each one planted not just for healing the body, but for softening the spirit. Even now, you can smell them, can't you? A whisper of crushed thyme, a hint of rosemary on your skin. This is what peace smells like. Herbs warmed by candlelight, mist curling over stone paths, ink drying on quiet pages. Brother Anselm hums a soft tune, barely more than breath through his lips, a hymn remembered from decades past. He doesn't need to think about the work now. His body knows the rhythm, like prayer beads pass through fingers in the dark. And as he paints, a soft smile creases his face. Not pride, but contentment. There is no one to see this page yet. No reader to admire its beauty. But that doesn't matter. The doing is the offering. Did you know some monks believed that ink itself had memory, that it absorbed not only the words, but the mood, the breath, the soul of the one who wrote? They whispered to their inks as they worked, banked the feather, offered small prayers before dipping the quill, because each page was not just a task. It was a mirror of what rested quietly inside. And so, tonight, Brother Anselm's ink is peaceful, his gold is gentle, his garden is a dream, and that dream is beginning to bloom beneath your thoughts. Can you see it? The painted garden on the page, soft and small, but in your mind, it opens wide. Step into it now. Yes, that's it. The grass is cool beneath your feet. Dewed with starlight, the stone path leads you past clusters of sage and sweet vine. Each step is slower than the last. You reach the fountain. Its water sings a lullaby, one note over and over, like a mother humming to the moon. And somewhere, just beyond the roses, a bell chimes once, deep like the breath of the earth. In the center of the garden, painted into the corner of the page, Anselm adds a tiny cloister. Within it, a figure in a robe kneels beside a desk. His face is hidden by the cowl, but a single candle glows beside him. A book rests open in front of him, gold letters shining from its pages. A story, within a story, within a dream. You realize, now, that you've been walking through your own page, that this moment, this breath, is part of the illumination. Back in the scriptorium, the candle has grown shorter. Its flame flickers with a final burst, then steadies again, smaller, now, like a breath before sleep. The fire in the hearth gives one last pop. A glowing ember tumbles gently across the ash, then fades. Brother Anselm rubs his eyes, closes the jar of blue pigment, and leans back with a contented sigh. He will not finish the page tonight. But that's all right. Some beauty unfolds slowly, over many nights, with no need to hurry. So now, dear listener, you too may rest. You've seen the garden, heard the ink whisper, walked the path beside Anselm's desk. You've drifted into gold and blue and soft vellum. There is nothing more to do now. No more thoughts to chase. Only sleep, steady and safe, like a candle inside a cloister. Let your thoughts grow slow, and your breath even slower. Let the hush return to your heart. The cloister sleeps now. Not just the walls and windows, but the very air between the stones. Heavy with hush, Brother Anselm's hand rests upon the desk, still faintly stained with blue, the last trace of lappy shimmer clinging to his knuckles. As if the sky itself had kissed him good night, the quill lies beside him, its tip just barely touching the edge of the vellum, as if it too had paused mid. And all around, the scriptorium breathes, not loudly, but deeply, the breath of rest, of fulfillment, of stillness, well earned. His eyes half-lidded, Anselm lets his mind drift. He is not asleep, but now that fully awake, he lets a memory rise gently to the surface, like a lantern lifted beneath still water. It was another night, many years ago, but the air had smelled the same. Wax and fire, parchment and pigment. He remembers being younger, his hand still steady, but quicker, less careful. He had once rushed through a page, anxious to meet a deadline, to complete a commission promised to an abbot far away. But in his haste, a blot of ink had spilled right at the edge of a golden letter. He had stared at it for a long time, heart sinking like a stone in a well. And then his old teacher had walked quietly to his side, looked at the smudge, and said with a kind smile, "There are no mistakes, only opportunities for more light." It's true, you know, many medieval manuscripts still bear traces of these quiet corrections. A blot of ink might become a bird in flight, a mistaken gold leaf transformed into a curling vine. Some scribes even left little notes in the margins, soft jokes to future readers, or confessions of sleepiness. One such scribe once wrote, "This page is dull, Lord, deliver me from it. Another wrote, as the harbor is welcome to the sailor, so is the last line to the scribe. These weren't just books. They were lives, lived one careful word at a time. Anselm smiles softly at the memory. And you can feel it too, can't you? That quiet warmth, that understanding, that even in sacred work, imperfection blooms gently, like a wildflower. You do not need to be perfect to be peaceful. You do not need to be flawless to be loved. Let that truth settle over you, like a woolen blanket, heavy and kind. You are already enough, already whole, already worthy of rest. Just as you are, time drifts onward, and somewhere beyond the cloister walls, a faint glow begins to press against the horizon. Not bright, not sharp, but soft, like the inside of a seashell, peach and pearl and the hour of lauds will come soon, the morning prayer, sung just before sunrise. But here in the scriptorium, all remains dim. One last candle burns, its wax puddled around the base, its flame tiny, like a whisper that has almost forgotten its words. And yet, still it glows. Brother Anselm reaches forward, and with gentle hands, he caps the ink pot. Not abruptly, but like a farewell, he brushes a cloth across the palette of pigments, wipes the edge of his quill, places it lovingly into its carved wooden rest. There is reverence in every gesture, because even ending the work is part of the prayer. The vellum page, still incomplete, is covered gently with a thin cloth to protect it from dust, from touch, from time. It will wait patiently until night returns again. Some say that places like this remember those who worked within them, that the stones keep echoes, and the beams hum faintly with old chants, that somewhere in the grain of the wood, the sire Brother Anselm still rests, that in the candlelit corners, you can almost hear the whisper of pages turned. Perhaps, if you stood there today, centuries later, you might feel something, the warmth of the fire, long since gone, the scent of ink, faded but familiar, a sense that you are not alone, that the hush is watching you, welcoming you like an old friend. And now, dear listener, you are no longer just watching, you are part of this quiet, part of the ink, part of the hush, part of the story that never truly ends. Your breath, soft and slow, is the next prayer whispered in the room. Your dreams are the colors that wait in the glass vials. And your stillness, your peaceful letting go, is the golden thread curling through the margins. You belong here. So rest now. Let your thoughts curl like vines upon the page. Let your breath rise and fall like parchment turned beneath patient hands. Let go of time. Let go of weight. Let go of all but this soft and golden now. The scriptorium sleeps with you. Brother Anselm drifts into prayer, and the cloister, in its quiet stone heart, glows softly in the coming dawn. Breathe with me again, soft and slow. You are still here, floating gently in the warm silence of the cloister. The story hasn't ended. It's only softened, like a candle's glow slowly dimming, or the hush just before birdsong. The night still cradles you. The stone walls still hold you, and the ink, though dry now, still tells its story. In this place, the story lingers long after the writing ends. Beyond the scriptorium, the rest of the monastery rests in peace. In the dormitory wing, monks lie beneath linen sheets, their breathing soft and even, their dreams gentle and clear. The chapel's tall windows are fogged with the chill of the night, their stained glass glowing faintly as moonlight filters through. In the garden, dew beads on every leaf and petal, catching the first glimmers of morning, as if the stars themselves have come to rest among the herbs. Everything waits, everything listens. Even time, it seems, has slowed to a still hush. The monks keep their days in rhythm, as regular as the tide, as dependable as the turning of a prayer wheel. There are 8 sacred hours times to chant, to work, to rest, to reflect. The hour of vigils has passed. Now, Lauds is close. Soon, a single bell will to lit sound long and low, rolling gently through stone corridors, like a voice heard in a dream. But for now, the bell waits, and so do we, wrapped in the space between two breaths. After tending to the final tools of his craft, Brother Anselm walks slowly back to his chamber. The hallway is dark, but familiar. He knows each stone beneath his feet, each flicker of torchlight on the worn, whitewashed walls. His cell is small. A wooden cot rests in the corner, covered in simple woolen cloth. A single window, narrow and arched, looks out over the chapel roof and into the valley beyond. On the sill, a clay cup holds 3 feather-soled quills, too worn for writing, but too precious to discard. Each one holds the ghost of a prayer. Can you feel it? The cool air in the chamber? The gentle creak of the wooden floor as he crosses it. The blanket smells of rosemary, dried sprigs tucked into the linen to keep moths away. A soft, earthy perfume that settles into your senses. The candle beside the cot has already been lit, a low, flickering flame that casts shadows, shaped like halos and wings on the wall. You sit down beside it. The cot creaks gently beneath you, and you feel your breath deepen. One more sigh, one more slow blink. You are so close to sleep now. Before lying down, Anselm opens a small, worn prayer book. Its leather cover is softened with age, edges frayed from decades of use. But inside, the pages still glow with care. Gold leaf still catches the light. Colors still whisper their stories. It's one of the first books he ever illuminated, back when his hands trembled more from excitement than age. Hugh remembers the long nights it took, the ink that spilled, the page that tore, the patient redoing of each detail, and how he smiled when it was finished, not because it was perfect, but because it was honest. That is the way of all sacred work, not to rush, not to impress, but to offer presence, to do something quietly, with your whole heart, and then let it go. Like writing a story no one may read, or singing a song into the wind, or simply breathing and being. That's what this night has been, and you've been part of it. A breeze stirs outside. It slips through the narrow window, carrying with it the scent of lavender, stone dust, and the faint sweetness of ripening figs from the orchard. The wind moves through the cloister like a slow breath of the divine. You can hear it now, rustle in the ivy, whistling softly through the arches. It joins the silence, becoming part of the story, part of your dreaming. Let it move through you, and now, as Anselm draws the blanket over his body, as he closes his eyes with a smile, you may do the same. Let your body become as still as the inkpot, as quiet as the vellum page beneath starlight. You are no longer reading the story. You are in it, sleeping beside the scribe, held in a hush of stone and history, blessed by candles and breath. You are safe. You are held. You are drifting. Let your eyes close now, if they haven't already. There's no need to watch the candle any longer. Its flame is soft and steady, and it will burn gently without you. You are already floating, half in a cloister, half in a place beyond time, a place where memories and stories breathe together, where ink still flows, but the lines curl into dreams, where the golden page never ends, because it becomes your sky. Somewhere in your sleep, you find yourself walking again, but not through the scriptorium. No, this is deeper, a hidden part of the monastery few have seen. You step through an arched doorway, worn smooth by generations of quiet hands, and find yourself in the library. A sacred hush rests over everything, not from silence, but from listening. The books here are not arranged by size or color, but by sound. The monks believed every book carried its own hum, a resonance, a vibration. And when you stand still, you can hear it, soft as breath on glass, a choir of memory. You pass between the shelves, each one carved of dark oak, polished by candlelight and time. Some books are chained to their shelves, not out of fear, but others rest on velvet cushions, open to illuminated pages where saints smile gently and gold halos shine like morning dew. One book, so old its cover has curled with age, whispers your name as you pass, not loudly, just enough to turn your head. You rest your fingers on its spine, and in that moment, you see a flash of garden in bloom, a candlelit prayer, a feather dipped in blue. You realize you've walked through this page before. Sometimes we forget that our thoughts are each day we write a little more in the margins. Some days are full of golden letters of joy and laughter, of sacred stillness. Other days are blotted with fear or grief, but all of it tied in. The imperfect strokes belong in the story. Even now, as you drift in the space between waking and dreaming, you are writing still, writing peace, writing rest, writing your place in the quiet. You turn another corner and find a strange, beautiful sight. A massive illuminated page floating in the air like a curtain of light. It glows with soft gold and living colors. The vines twist and bloom in slow motion. Each letter pulses with breath. A capital L unfurls before lavender and silver. Inside it, a small figure writes at a desk, and you know it's Anselm, but younger and older and something else altogether. And as he looks up, you feel a warmth behind your ribs, the sensation of being known without ever having to explain. Around you now, the page becomes a place, not parchment, but landscape. The blue sky is ink. The trees grow from painted border. The grass curls like the flourishes of a holy script. The birds sing in plain chant tones. One note, then another, rising, falling, returning. You lie down beneath the golden vines, and the earth beneath you is soft as velvet. The sky moves slowly above you, not in hours, but in paragraphs. And as the breeze flows through the flowers, you feel every breath grow lighter and lighter. In some monasteries, scribes believed that to write illuminated texts was to enter a sacred trance, not sleep, not wakefulness, but a third state where the mind became still, the breath became prayer, and the hands served something greater than thought. Some even claimed they could smell angels' wings while painting gilded borders, a scent like wild honey and old pine. Perhaps it was dream, perhaps it was real, but does it matter? You're there now too, and the page continues to open before you. Let your body now become the quill. Let your dreams become the ink. Let this moment become the page. No thoughts, just warmth. No questions, just silence. No tension, just trust. You have written enough today. Now let the story write itself within you. The golden page begins to fold gently around you, like parchment turning slowly. It curls without weight, without noise, and you find yourself resting in its center, held in the curl of a letter, nested in the curl of a thought. Brother Anselm is there too, not as a man, but as a hum, a warmth, his work complete, his breath calm, and so yours is to. You are no longer walking, no longer turning pages. You are the hush itself. Now the breath, between chapters, the space between two stars. There is no weight in your body, only the sense of floating in a story that doesn't need words anymore. A warmth, a whisper, a feeling, like resting your head on folded linen, like hearing rain on stone, like a lullaby, remembered from before you were born. If any part of your day still lingers a thought, a task, a noise, let it come here. Now, let it sit beside the ink. Offer it to the silence. Not to push it away, but to let it rest too. Even your thoughts deserve sleep. Even your worries long to soften. Let them be like old letters folded and placed in a quiet drawer. You can return to them later, but not now. Now is only for the golden hush. There is a cloister within you, not of stone, not of wood, but of breath. and quiet knowing. In this cloister, your spirit walks barefoot on mossy stone, each step as light as mist. You pause at a fountain, clear water bubbling gently, each droplet glowing faintly, like ink touched by sunlight. You cup your hands and drink, and the water tastes like memory, like stillness, like the absence of need. To create in silence is to listen, to bring beauty into the world with no audience, no applause, no rush. That is what Brother Anselm did. And it is what you are doing now. By simply resting, you honor the same rhythm. You say, "It is enough to breathe." And in that sentence, you illuminate a page within yourself. No gold needed, only gentleness. You are led now to a deeper chamber, one that doesn't exist in the waking monasterians, yet has always existed within this story. The library of dreams. Here, the shelves rise impossibly high, filled with books that have never been written, but have always been imagined, each one bound in starlight, stitched with silence, resting softly, waiting for dreamers to open them. You walk among them, but there is no pressure to choose, only the comfort of knowing they are here. Always here, for when you're ready. In the center of the library, seated beneath an arched window glowing with moonlight, sits Brother Anselm. But he is different now. He is not old, nor young. He is both, and neither. His robe is woven with script lines from your thoughts, poems you haven't yet written, moments you've almost forgotten. He smiles at you without moving his lips, a smile made of recognition, not of your face, but of your soul. And then he bows his head and returns to his writing. But you realize the page he's working on now is you. Every dream you've ever had becomes a line of text. Every sigh, a golden swirl. Every scar, a gilded border lovingly painted to hold space for healing. The mistakes you thought you made, he turns them into birds nesting in the margins. The nights you felt forgotten, he paints stars there. You are more than a story. You are the light that makes the story visible. There is no plot here, no need to remember how you got here. Only feeling, only floating, as if you've become the ink and the vellum and the breath of the monk, all at once. As if you're part of the candlelight, part of the quiet, part of something sacred that doesn't need a name. The library of dreams begins to dim, not with darkness, but with comfort, like twilight thickening around your shoulders. You find a small cushion near the and lie down, cradled by warmth and quiet and peace. Anselm writes one last line, a line you cannot read, but you feel its meaning in your bones. And as the final golden curve is drawn, you feel your body relax even deeper. You do not need to understand it, only to rest in it. So now, let your thoughts fall away. Let your limbs grow heavy, as if you're sinking into a sea of soft parchment. Let your breath become a lullaby for the stars. You are safe. You are seen. You are the illuminated page. You are beyond the vellum now. Beyond ink. Beyond the brush's touch. Floating in a space where silence has shape and warmth has memory. You are no longer just a reader, or even a dreamer. You are the hush between letters, the rhythm beneath the quill. Your presence rests lightly on the breath of the world. You are part of the story that never needs to be spoken aloud. There is no time here. The candle is burned past memory. The stars outside the cloister have curled into patterns only dreams can name. You do not need to measure moments anymore. They are all one now, one breath, one heartbeat, one golden glow that stretches on forever. This is where true rest lives, where nothing needs to be done, because everything is already whole. You find yourself walking again, not with feet, but with thought. Each step unfolds beneath you, like an illuminated letter, a soft, glowing path of gold leaf curves and sapphire ink. You pass beneath arches woven from calligraphy and soft song. The walls here aren't stone, but verses, psalms you've never heard, but somehow remember. Each one hums gently as you walk past, like a friend greeting you with no need for words. You are not lost. You are home, in this cloister of light. There is a desk, unlike the others. No candle burns upon it. Instead, it is lit by an inner glow, quiet radiance of understanding, a hand larger than sight, gentler than breath guides, a quill across the space of all things. It writes in a language older than time, a script made of kindness and stillness, and you realize, this is the story of everything, and your name is written gently in its margins, with love, with grace, with no expectation but peace. Then, just beyond the golden arches, you come once more to a garden, but not the one from the page. This one breathes. It is the Hortus Somniorum, the garden of sleep. The herbs here are planted in circles, each bed a symbol of a dream. Lavender for rest, chamomile for release, rosemary for memory, mugwort for moonlight travels. You sit on a stone bench, moss growing softly over its edges. The leaves above rustle in a breeze that sounds like the turning of vellum. A fountain sings in the center, its water glowing faintly with stars. There is wisdom in stillness, not the kind you must seek, but the kind that comes when you stop seeking, when you sit in silence long enough to hear what was always speaking to you. The candle doesn't ask why it burns. The ink doesn't ask where it flows. They simply are. And you, dear soul, you are the same. You do not need to strive to shine. You are already glowing, just by being. As you close your eyes within the garden, you hear the faint shuffle of robes. Anselm's presence returns not from behind you, but beside you, not as a man this time, but as warmth in the grass, as peace in the roots. His voice is a breeze now. All things sacred are simple, he whispers. All things good are slow. Let even your dreams be quiet prayers. And with that, he fades again, not gone, but spread throughout the quiet. And you begin to realize this story was never about a place you visited. It was about a place within you that's always been here. You are the scriptorium, the candle, the garden. You are the ink that flowed in peace, the page that bore love without needing praise. You are the cloister of your own breath, a sanctuary, a soft, golden home for every version of yourself that longs for rest. So now, let your body soften even more. Let your arms grow weightless, your legs loose and heavy, your eyelids sweet with warmth. Let your thoughts move slower than clouds, slower than vines, slower than breath. There's no need to stay awake for the ending, because the story never ends. It just rests, like you are now, held in gold and hush and love. You are not waking, not stirring, but something is blooming gently within the hush. Not a thought, but a knowing, a slow unfurling, like a bud touched by first light. The cloister of your breath has deepened. Its arches echo your heartbeat now. There's no need to move, no need to wonder. Just be here, still and sacred. In the quiet of your dream, you'll find yourself once more at the door of the scriptorium. But something is different. It is dusk. Now not. A rose-colored light filters through the narrow windows, softening the stone, painting everything in hues of forgiveness. The fire is lit again, crackling low in the hearth, its warmth like a memory that never left you. The desk is waiting. The tools are placed just as they were, but this time, you are the one seated there. Your hands got calm, steady. Your breath, slow and sure. You pick up the quill, its feather as soft as your thoughts now. You dip it gently into the inkpot, but the ink is not black. It is starlight, liquid, hush. You place the tip to the page, and you do not need to think of words. They come of their own accord, not in sentences, but in moments. A breath, a bird, a dream. Each one written with such stillness that the page seems to hum as it receives them. Many medieval monks believed the act of writing sacred texts was itself a form of prayer. They breathed evenly, wrote slowly, and allowed the repetition to quiet the mind. Each letter, a meditation. each stroke a surrender. And as they wrote, they believed they were becoming a living conduit for something divine. Even mistakes were embraced, corrected not with shame, but with gold, as if the flaw made room for grace. Feel the quill in your fingers, light as a feather resting on silk. Smell the parchment, warm, with a hint of almond and smoke. Hear the gentle scratch as the nib glides across the page. Soft, softer, a lullaby for the eyes. The candle at your elbow flickers, but never falters. Its scent is honey and tallow. Its glow a halo that wraps around your shoulders. You are writing light into the very air. The words you're writing now aren't just stories. They are memories of your own stillness. They are prayers you didn't know you needed. Each letter is part of a sacred truth. You are worthy of peace, not for what you've done, but for what you are. You are the scribe, but you are also the prayer, the page, the hush. After a time, you place the quill down, not because the story is finished, but because peace has been reached. The candle still glows. The fire still whispers. The page before you shines with soft light, not from ink, but from meaning. You smile, not from pride, but from that quiet joy that comes when nothing more is needed. You have given presence. You have offered stillness, and that is enough. Now the walls around you begin to soften, not crumble, just blur, as if the scriptorium itself is becoming part of your breath. You are no longer inside it. You are it. You are the desk, the page, the wind that moves through the arches. You are the quiet joy of craft, the soft gold of letting go. You are the cloister, and within you, everything rests. So sleep now. Let the story fold like parchment in your mind. Let the ink settle at the bottom of your thoughts. Let the candle burn in the distance, a tiny glow on the horizon of your dreams. There is no more to do, no more to be. You are already everything the scribe hoped to preserve. Peaceful, gentle, whole. Let yourself drift, held in the arms of ancient hush, and just as sleep takes you fully, a final whisper reaches your heart. May your dreams be gilded with calm. It says, may a breath write blessings in the dark. May you always remember you are the story, the silence, and the light. Now, even the story has stepped back. It no longer needs to be told. It only needs to be felt. You are wrapped in the afterglow of sacred creation, in that golden hush where no more pages turn, because the page is infinite. There's no need to reach, no need to remember, only the soft hum of your own breathing, only the warmth gathering at the edge of sleep. Imagine it now, the stone walls of the monastery, still, strong, patient. They no longer feel distant. They feel like you. The cloister does not enclose you. It reflects you. It breathes with you, expanding gently as you inhale, settling in peace as you exhale. You are the still corridor. You are the arched window. You are the hush that lived between each chant at dusk, a sanctuary, built from presence, far off, softly. A bell rings, not loud, not sharp, just a single note, folding itself into the air like a bird disappearing into clouds. It doesn't call you back. It only marks a moment of blessing, a benediction, a silent way of saying, you have done enough. You are safe here. You may rest. Somewhere in the scriptorium, the very last candle burns. The room around it is dim, quiet. Dust moves like lace in the light. And on the desk, your page remains still open, still glowing. You've left it unfinished on purpose, because peace is not in the completion. Peace is in the offering. The candle dances just a little longer, honoring what you gave, and then softly it fades. Now the cloister is neither dream nor memory. It is the space between, a monastery held aloft by breath and thought and kindness. Its walls shimmer slightly, no longer stone, but prayer. You walk here, not with feet, but with intention. You pass a garden that blooms only in moonlight. You cross a bridge that hums beneath each step. You approach a door that opens before you think to touch it. This place knows you. You've been here before. In every moment you allowed yourself stillness. Perhaps this peace has always been inside you. Perhaps Brother Anselm, the quill, the candlelight were only echoes of your own deeper knowing. A part of you that never forgot how to rest, how to breathe, how to create gently, without needing reward. You were not brought here. You remembered the way. Breathe in now, gently. No strain. Feel it move through your chest like silk drawn across wood, and out, softly, as if releasing an old story no longer needed. Each breath now anchors you deeper, not into sleep, but into trust, into surrender, into the truth that this moment is everything. In medieval times, when a monk finished a manuscript, he often wrote a simple Latin phrase at the end, Deo gratias, thanks be to God, or simply, Finitum iste. Sometimes they'd add a quiet note, if there is fault in this, forgive me, but never shame, just reverence. They knew the work was sacred, not because it was perfect, but because it was honest, just like you. So imagine now, a final scriptorium not of stone, not in time, but made of golden hush. You sit there, not to write, but to rest, and around you, light flows like ink, and silence folds like paper. You do not need to speak. The story is written. The page is full of sleep. Let go now. Fully. There is no more to see. Nothing more to hold. Let yourself become the margin, the parchment, the sacred breath. Let your limbs be still, your thoughts like slow gliding clouds. Sleep is not absence here. It is presence. A shimmering calm you now carry within. You are the illumination, and the night has crowned you with peace. There is no door now, no desk, no page, only the breath of the story curling around you like morning mist. You're not reading anymore. You're not even dreaming. You are being dreamed by the light, by the hush, by the memory of every quiet place that ever made you feel whole. Let yourself drift. There's no gravity here, no time. You float through light that moves like calligraphy, curving, arching, dipping. Every movement a sentence without need for words. And you feel it. You are the ink now. You flow along soft parchment skies. You trace out meanings made only of stillness. You are written by peace itself. In the heart of certain abbeys, there were monks believed not just to write, but to illuminate thought. They would sit in meditation for days before ever touching a page. They called it illumination of the Minda preparation, not of parchment, but of spirit. For only a still soul could hold sacred beauty without altering it. You are there now, in that pause before action, in that light before dawn. The cloister returns, but not as a building, as a vision, a soft arrangement of calm, columns of ivory lace, dripping with jasmine and silence, archways drawn from breath, floor stones warm beneath bare feet, not hard, but yielding like memory. You walk there now, slow, weightless. Each step leaves no mark, only a hut. There is a scriptorium in your chest. It is lit by a single star the size of a tear, the warmth of a lullaby. Your heart is the desk, your breath is the candle. Your stillness is the ink, and each beat writes a line on the eternal scroll of this moment. You don't need to do anything. Just rest here, and let your body write the sacred poem of sleep. In the monastery of the soul, rest is the holiest of sacraments, a gift given, not when earned but when remembered. Tonight, sleep is not escape. It is return. Return to rhythm, return to breath, return to self. It anoints your thoughts with gold and hush, and crowns your body with deep stillness. Imagine now a candle burning low. Its flame is the final heartbeat of this dream. It doesn't go out quickly. It leans to one side, sighs into the air, and becomes part of it. You watch, not with eyes, but with breath. And as it fades, you feel no loss, only completion. Only warmth. Some scribes left tiny doodles in the margins of sacred books. little birds, dancing rabbits, angels with musical instruments, tiny touches of joy hidden in holy texts. You carry those within you. Too little laughter, old songs, soft pieces of light curled up beside the seriousness of life. And tonight, they rest beside you, curled in the corners of your sleep. You are not falling asleep. You are being illuminated, your soul touched with slow strokes of gold. Each breath, a border brushed in peace. Each sigh, a halo around your presence. The night sees you, and it quiets its stars so you may dream undisturbed. And now, there is nothing more to say, nothing more to tell. The story sleeps, the monastery breathes, the ink dries, the candle fades, and you, beloved listener, you are floating in the soft, endless glow of the Cloister's midnight ink. Let go completely now. Let go of story. Let go of time. Let go of needing anything more. You are home. It is the stillest hour, the hour when even the wind rests, when stars exhale and dreams no longer rush. Everything has slowed now. Even your breath moves, like light over old stone. No beginning, no ending, only quiet, only gold. Do you remember the letter? That first glowing letter in the illuminated book. The L with silver threads and lavender spirals. You are back there now, but not outside it. Inside, curled in the loop of its golden tail. The letter has become a cradle, and you sway gently within it, rocked by memory, held by care. So much of the story was built around candles, around parchment, around sacred tools. But here is the truth, soft as silk falling to the floor. You were the light all along. The hush was yours. The stillness carried in your bones. Brother Anselm, the scriptorium, the illuminated texts, they were mirrors to what you already held. Some illuminators mixed their ink with more than pigment. Some added crushed sapphires or powdered gold. But others, especially those writing of sorrow or devotion, added tears. Tiny drops infused into the ink before the first word was written to make the prayer personal, to let grief become part of beauty. You carry such ink too. The gentle ache of your journey, the glistening softness of all you've endured. Tonight, it rests not as weight, but as art. There's nothing left to find, because you've already returned. Returned to the breath that's always waited. Returned to the warmth that never left. Sleep is not the goal. It is the gift, offered not as escape, but as embrace, a warm woolen page to wrap around your soul. Picture the scriptorium once more, but this time, it's not alone. The walls have softened into shadow. The shelves have faded into mist. Only the desk remains, and one final candle burning with no fear of ending. Its flame doesn't flicker. It sways gently, and beneath it, a single page. Your story, not finished but fully alive, written in invisible ink, read only by dreams. You are the manuscript now, the vellum softened by time, the script carefully inked with breath, every line an act of devotion, every margin filled with quiet blessings. You are being read by the stars, by the wind, by the peace that lives at the edge of all things, and they understand you completely. Let the book close now, not with finality, but with reverence. The cover is heavy with golden edges, but it doesn't thud shut. It sighs. A soft hush, the kind you make when something beloved is put to rest. Not forever, just for now. Just until you open it again in your next dream. And there it is again. The bell, but softer now. It's not summoning you, it's cradling you. A single chime that drifts across the mind, ringing once, then folding into the fabric of sleep. It is the punctuation at the end of a golden sentence. And it says, "You are loved. You may rest." Now there are no more pages, no more letters. Just hush, a hush that surrounds you like a cloak of soft ink, that fills the air like warmed parchment and lavender. Let yourself disappear into it, not vanish, but dissolve, like ink into water, like stars into dawn, like breath into peace. You are not outside the story anymore. You are the silence, it lives within. Welcome back, dear soul, here at the edge of all stories, where light folds into shadow and silence hums like a lullaby. There is only peace, only the gentle unfolding of all that has come before, and all that will ever be. You rest here, wrapped in the warmth of the cloister's breath, held softly by the infinite hush. Before you now lies the last page, not blank, but glowing faintly with the gold of 1,000 whispered prayers. You do not need to write anything more. The story is complete, because you are part of it. Your breath, your stillness, your presence. These are the final lines, the sacred punctuation that gives meaning to all that came before. The candle beside you burns low now. Its flame sways gently, casting dancing shadows like memories on ancient stone. You watch with a heart, soft and quiet. There is no rush to the end, only the slow bowing of light saying goodbye. And in that farewell, there is blessing, a benediction made of warmth and love. So now, dear one, let your body sink deeper, let your mind float lighter, let go of all that weighs you, all the stories, the worries, the need to be. You are free here, free to dissolve into the velvet dark, into the gentle arms of endless night. Imagine the cloister walls melting away like candle wax, the stone softening into clouds, the ink fading into starlight, and you becoming all of it. The breath, the light, the quiet, the sacred space between heartbeats. Here, you are held. Here, you are home. Here, you sleep. May your dreams be stitched with gold and grace. May your breath carry the calm of centuries of prayer. May you awaken softly, or not at all, held forever in the cloister's midnight ink. And know, always, you are loved. You are enough. You are peace. And as the last flicker fades, as silence deepens, and your breath slows, remember this moment, this sacred pause. You are the story, the scribe, the light, and in that truth, you will always find rest. Good night, beloved soul.